Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson. We back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr.
Toi.
A.K.A.
1-3.
1-3!
Yeah! Oh my.
Time to turn it up. Episode 200, baby.
You right. The compression gonna be in overdrive.
Oh, my bad. I forgot about
you
that.
Good. No, you good.
I didn't think about that.
It's just a big block of just wave files right there.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that would be fun to do. And it's 2 syllables, so it works out. Yes, sir.
What's good, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm excited for this episode 200.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time coming. You know, a lot of issues, a lot of learning, a lot of growth, a lot of spontaneous things, but it's been a good journey. I feel like I enjoy my journey, and I don't think my journey's over yet, but I kind of just want to reflect a little bit on what our journey's been so far.
Right.
And we have a very special guest to help us reflect today. I want to say this is our number one fan, my cousin. I know he's probably listened to every episode we put out there.
Yes, sir.
He's giving me feedback on episodes, talked about ideas, said, that's a good one, everything like that. So I always appreciate him to the fullest. Bring him to the microphone. We have Mr. MJ, a.k.a. Marvin Jackson.
Yes, sir. Hello. Back again.
Welcome. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good on this beautiful Saturday.
Right, beautiful Thanksgiving weekend, 4 days, multiple days at least off, hopefully for everybody here.
Yeah, it's just my number off days.
Hey, man, you big truck driver, bro. You living the life.
Nah, I got too many kids. Uncle Lane asked me on Thanksgiving, how many kids you got? 4 too many, man.
4 too many.
I love them all, though.
Nah, they all amazing kids. I know I saw Keon walking through the hallways the other day. So I always love running into him.
What school you go to? Legacy?
He a freshman in the mirror, a sophomore.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'll be seeing them in the hallways every now and then. So it's pretty dope. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. But MJ, thank you for being with us today for our episode 200 to help us reflect a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I kind of just want to pop it off with one question from Mr. 1-3 right now. So episode 200, how are you feeling about this? How you feeling about the whole journey?
Just a little surreal, a little bit. Like before I even realized it was episode 200, it was just like, still as I meet new people and they find out I have a podcast, I'm like, yeah, how long you been doing your podcast? Shoot, this January will be 4 years.
Right.
4 years every single Monday since 2021. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, we just got to keep the train rolling, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm excited, it's dope. But I'm ready to just keep going, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Dang, I don't think it feel like 4 years.
You don't?
No. I thought it was like 2.
No.
That's why we said 4 years. Like in my head, it's like, damn, it has not felt like that long.
Yeah, it's the surrealism.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't realize it was 4 years either. Like you said, if you really think about how many Mondays there are, it's like, oh, well, it's 365 days, but no, technically though, you could divide that by 7, you know, so Yeah, no, I feel the same though, bro. Real surreal about it. This is cool to know that I've been this consistent with something, you know, and I'm still being consistent with something. And, you know, it's like, it's always fun making something out of nothing, you know, and that's what I really like about it. It's like, oh yeah, this has really been our baby. You know, I think
been growing, and transforming.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you exactly how it's been growing and transforming, and you know how we tried things, and tried different ideas, and you know we went different paths with it and see where we can go. But at the same time, we still stay consistent to our values. You know, and I think that was the coolest thing ever. So every Monday for sure, you know, we always talk about positive. You know, we always try to keep it motivational. You know, even if it was fun, it was still semi-motivational somehow. Yeah. You know, so I think we did pretty well.
I agree.
You know, I'm proud of us on that level.
Yes, sir. I'm proud of y'all too.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yes, no, thank you. So, yeah, for a listener like this, how you been? How you enjoying the show?
It's been kind of like a couple like episodes where I'll be going through something in life, and like it'd be like the ones where you just be you by yourself, and it'd be like, yeah, you got knocked off the horse, get back on it. I'm like, yeah, I fell off the horse, time to get back on it. So it'd be like kind of weird sometimes, because even like the one with the congressman or senator.
Yeah, the congressman.
Yeah, I was like not really big into politics, but because we had to vote this year, I kind of got into it. So like listen to that episode, or even like I think the one after that was the lady with the bank. Yeah, like I was looking at buying the house, and she was on there talking about stuff like bank stuff. So it's like it's been like a surreal moment. God, you know, everything happened for a reason. Right. So it's like God putting stuff in my face that I need to pay attention to. Yeah. And I listen to every episode, so it's like I pay attention to it. Yeah.
No, and I like to hear that, you know, because that's always been something I've been aiming for. Is always every episode is relatable. Yeah. In some way, shape, or form, you know. So like, you know, you could be going through it right now, could not be going through it, could come in handy later. But, you know, that's always one of every episode to be somewhat relatable, something you can always take from it and, you know, maybe learn from it if possible. Yeah. You know, even if it's not something you already know, just a reminder. You know, so that's what I always enjoyed about it.
And even in, like, the creative process, like the last episode that I did, it was just, you know, everything just falls in line, especially just given the surrounding circumstances. Things of that nature, or when you send me a message to edit and I'm just like listening to it as I'm doing my, you know, corrections and whatnot. It's just like, this definitely just applies right now for some reason. And let's keep it going because I got to do this edit. He did the episode, and I mean we're still chugging along. So just keep moving forward, like on Meet the Robinsons. Yeah.
No, I love it, bro, and I think that right there is amazing. So one of my questions I have is what is a lesson that you've learned throughout this whole process? Like, what is one lesson you learned throughout this whole process that you would like to share?
No matter what, just have something to work on consistently. I feel like even when I wasn't up to it because it was like a bad week or going through like a low moment or something like that, as long as there was something to come to complete and then do it again the next week and week after week after week, like that just kept like a base. Right. And I mean, for other people it may not even be a podcast or anything like that, but something that they you know, just strive for. You don't even have to necessarily enjoy it, but you know, something other than work that can, you know, work your mind or your body in some way. As long as you're staying consistent in that way, and at least having one of those type of things, then you can kind of get through anything that comes towards you. Right. Yeah.
I have to say the same thing, consistency, because that's like y'all number one thing. I know on a Monday it's gonna be a podcast drop. And it's very hard to stay consistent. It's like very hard. Yeah, like because I be wanting to go to, like, for me, like outside of work and my kids, I'll be wanting to go to the gym, but like literally the gym is like a 3-minute drive from my house, and I don't go. but I know if I can just get my lazy ass in there and stay consistent with it, it'll pay off. So for y'all, it's gonna pay off. It probably already has paid off. Y'all just don't know it yet. Right. But the consistency will pay off. And that's like by far the biggest. Like you said, 4 years every Monday. Like I said, I didn't know it's been 4 years. It has not felt like 4 years, but I appreciate y'all for the consistency because y'all give me something to listen to every Monday.
Right. Yeah. No, well, I appreciate y'all for listening for sure. And like you said, it's just like how you said with the gym. There have been times, definitely for the best listener, I wake up Sunday morning tired and like, man, I haven't wrote nothing yet. But, you know, before I can sit down on this couch and relax for my Sunday, because, you know, I work 6 days a week. So before I can relax for my Sunday, let me send this message real quick and figure out something to say. And, you know, shout out Jessica in the crowd right now in the background. She's seen it many a times where I'll sit here and I'll be like, okay, all right, babe, I got to pause the TV for a second so I can record this episode. And I'll stop what I have to do, record for a second, and then just knock it out and get it done, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that right there is amazing. One lesson that I've learned, I think, is just when I want to say this the best way, the nicest way, but you know, follow your dream, you know, and do it your way, you know, because throughout this process, we had plenty of times where, you know, we try to collaborate with people and they try to change up stuff and say we should do it this way, we should try that. You know, we've tried switching up the interviewing style. We tried different episode styles, you know, when it was just episodes, we was asking questions or something like that. You know, there were times where, you know, it was just times where there were moments where we didn't know what we was going to do with the episode. And we opened up the book behind me and it's like, okay, we're going to talk about this right here, you know? And it's like, I know I'm going to talk about something positive, but even though we went through everything we went through, all the different hands in the pod and, you know, some of the things slowing us down or speeding us up, whatever, we always stayed true to what we were, you know? And I think that was something that was just always amazing to me. And it was always just cool because at the end of the day, every episode starts the same and every episode ends the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe the topic of the episode is a little different, but we always stay true to our format and our consistency and, you know, who Just Keep Swimming is. Yeah. You know, and I think everybody always respects us for that. You know, so I think that right there is always really cool.
I agree. Like, just staying focused on what you want for your project.
Right.
Yeah.
So then one of my next questions, and then I'm gonna let Mr. MJ ask his amazing questions he brought in, is what was some of the hardest things that we went through to, you know, get to this point? Like, what were some of the most difficult things for you?
Honestly, probably, just keeping it honest, just like the collaboration era we had. That was just difficult to navigate while also understanding like other people's point of views, but also realizing like I don't think it was aligning with what we were trying to do with the podcast and trying to communicate that, and again still try to collaborate despite that. It was just difficult, and unfortunately like that just didn't work out the way we hoped. And that was just kind of tough while also still trying to do an episode every Monday.
Exactly.
Like, man, that was stressful.
Right. It was tiring after a while too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I feel like other things in life kind of threw into that at around the same time. But like I feel like I'm finally kind of starting to come out of that little rut from that period. But yeah, it took a minute. It was just like, man, this is just unfortunate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree with you. I think I wouldn't say the word you used, and there was ruts. And I think there's been plenty of ruts that we went throughout this process, and I think that was always the hardest part of like climbing back out of the rut and keep going. Yeah. Because, you know, there's plenty of times we wanted to stop, or we was like, you know, let's change it to once every 2 weeks, you know, and even just doing that one little change, it probably wasn't a big difference, but that was still a big change to me. Like, man, we've been doing 1 week for a long time, maybe 2 weeks, maybe we can, you know, motivating each other to keep wanting to go at it and keep trying to figure out stuff. And, you know, the ruts of not having guests, or the ruts of having too many guests, and we had to cancel people, or we think somebody's gonna show up and they don't show up, or
scheduling mishaps,
technology mishaps, you know, life mishaps today, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's been so many ruts, and it's like, you know, just prime example, I'm keeping real with you. Today's rut was this is the idea that the chord is missing.
Yeah.
Man, you know how easy it was about to be. Shit, nigga, I'll send you a message to the listener. We can do this another day. Like, I was quick. I was gonna say it quick because I'm like, oh, whatever. Like,
and like in my mindset, I was just like, yo, we're already here. I can find a way out of this. Like, just give me this cord and I'll plug this shit up and we'll get it running there. Like, we're already here, bro.
And that was my other mindset too. Like, we already here, bro. We gotta make this happen. Let's not just knock it out. And but I think the ruts are really good because they always make you push through. So we always learn to push through, keep swimming, push through. Even if we had a time where the whole audio didn't work. Yeah. We did a whole episode and the audio didn't work at all. A whole hour and a half interview, none of it saved. So we had to renege everything. We had to do it
tragic.
Like
that was tragic.
So it was a lot of issues, but I think we made it through. It sucked going through the issues at the time they went through, but I think it showed a lot of character and helped us get to where we are right now. So I'm proud of it for sure.
That part.
Yes, sir.
From the outside looking in, it looks flawless.
Right.
From my point, because I'm not in here every day, but from listening to it every Monday, I haven't really seen like no issues or anything.
Yeah.
And that comment makes me just think about like of all the other media that's out there, like how much of how much shit is in the background that we just can't perceive because they only give us this finished product.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I kind of understand now too, just because of how long we've been doing this and all the things that we've been going through. Which, at the end of the day, we got to do what we got to do.
Right.
So.
And I feel like even though we don't show it, we always told it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We
transparent.
We were transparent with it. We admit we had a fuck up or something like that. And that was something that always was good too. Transparency was always good. And we was told not to be transparent. And I was like, when
we was told that, I was just like, bruh, nah, bro.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I feel like that just keeps up the integrity and like the honesty of it. Like that's the whole purpose. Like, if we're trying to build positivity without being transparent, like
it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm my best example at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I truly understand that one, bro. I truly agree with that.
Like right now, I don't have any regrets about anything that happened or what we said or what we were honest about. Like, hey, at least that shit's out of my mind. It's not sitting in the back and we're, told the audience, but we kept pushing forward. Like that's just life.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And then to touch on that, at the end of the day, I'm glad we went through it too, because it taught us a lot. We know how to deal with situations like that now. And at the end of the day, we're still pushing through. So it's like, it's great. It's great we went through the mishap. So I'm glad we did.
Right, same.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna pass the mic to Mr. MJ now, because I know he has some amazing questions written up for us. So I want to see what he has for us. I guess I'm
interviewing y'all now.
Step into our shoes.
Yeah, step into our shoes. Yeah, let's see how it feels.
So my first question is, like, when y'all came in with the idea of doing a podcast, was y'all like nervous? Was y'all excited? What was that initial feeling or thought?
4 years ago.
I still felt the excitement of it, of like getting ready for it, because because I remember just the idea of sharing the idea. It took me a while just to share the idea, and before I even shared the idea, I kind of had to come up with some type of structure for it so I knew I was sharing. And then getting Donovan on board, that was easy, honestly. That wasn't hard at all. Like that was easy. I shared an idea, like, bro, I don't think you can help. Yeah, I'm down. That was easy. But then, after that, we reached out to Tease, and then he gave us the advice of everything we'll need to make it happen. And then that's when the excitement kicked in of ordering mixers and Focusrites and going to the pawn shops and saying if they had microphones or this stuff that there, and finding the cords we need. And the very first day we was here, like you said, we did it on New Year's Day. It was literally New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve, about to be New Year's night, and we in my room, we in this living room right here trying to set up a podcast. And
I was sitting right here. Well, you sitting over there.
I was on the other couch. We didn't have this couch. We had the other couch. We had the older couch. So we did that, and then I think I was in a rocking chair.
Yeah.
And then Yeah, it took forever to figure out how to get it set up. We had to call Trev and had to FaceTime him. No, you don't need that. Throw that away. Like, what is that? You got Trev, what is that? Get rid of that shit. So it was just like a whole just experience, and then we just dived into it finally. I think we started off and then we messed up and we had to start the episode over. And yeah, it was a lot, bro, but at the same time we just did it, you know.
Yeah.
And then it happened to work out because timing was off with some of the stuff with like Buzzsprout and stuff. I thought it was gonna be faster to upload it, but it wasn't. So then I had to do other stuff, but it happened right before we recorded. It happened to fix itself. So yeah, it was just a lot going on, but it just worked out though. So yeah, I can't remember your question, but
it was like, how did you feel when we first started?
Yeah, I still feel the excitement that we had when we first started. Like I said, it was scary. Just the idea of wanting to do something, and then the two that I'm about to talking to a microphone and I'm about to throw my voice out there. You know, it's almost equivalent to trying to take that perfect selfie to post on IG. You know what I'm saying? You might take 3 or 4 of them, and like, I guess I'll just post it. You might not really like this one, but you're gonna see what happens. And oh shit, I do. I'm getting some likes. Okay,
right.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then, you know, also the excitement of all the support we got at the very beginning was amazing. You know, of course how the world works is we do something new and exciting, and everybody wants to show love. And then as it's consistent, it's like, it's been there, done that. They still doing it, you know. But yeah, it was cool though. It was cool for me.
I mean, initial excitement for me, but it was also just given that point in my life at the moment too, it was also like a questioning of if I was qualified to even do this, and especially before like I grew into the role of co-host, because it was just, you know, I'm just the engineer. I'm just sitting here making sure the show is happening in the first place. Like after the first interview, After the first interview, did I have a mic? Like,
you didn't have the mic the first interview, no. And then we ended up giving you a mic, I think.
Yeah.
Because you linked over into my mic and asked questions.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So then, after that, then just getting over my social anxiety too. So it was just kind of like, it was excitement paired with like a little bit of stress too. Because I'm like, okay, well, now I gotta
talk.
Yeah. Like, what am I gonna say? Like, you know, shit like that. But you know, as it moved on, it just kind of went away to where it's just like a normal part, and I feel like I can, instead of it being a performance, it's more of like just being myself, which was something that was unexpected. Which also just helped me out in like other areas of my life too. Funny thing, I think last week we was doing something for work, and we had to like meet in the theater so we can meet the kids and do our like class or whatever. And before any of the kids got there, it was just me and my coworker, and she was like, "Oh, do a monologue." And I was like, "Okay." Just digging around, but like I don't think I would have been able to necessarily do that if I wasn't consistent and experiencing this podcast, and it just showed how much growth of where I was when we first started to where we are now.
So looking back at, you know, the very first episode to now, you could say that the podcast has helped you in more ways than you probably thought it would.
Oh, beyond.
Yeah.
Yes, beyond. Like agreeing with Donovan said, the social ability, like sad to say, but I know I can go anywhere and sit anywhere and now talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And even if this person ain't asking nothing about me, I know I can interview this person and just start asking them questions. I don't know where we were, Jessica, but I did that. I don't know where we were. We were somewhere, and you was like, "Why are you talking to this person?" And I don't know. But I'm just talking to him because I can. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we were waiting in line or something, and I can ask questions, and you know, it just works out like that. Like I just get in natural interview mode, I guess.
Yeah, so. Like shoot, it happened a couple times at Ray's when I wasn't with my friends going into it. I'm just chilling in line, and you know, I'm an introvert. I wouldn't say like to talk, but
That's how I am. I'm like, if I don't need to talk, I'm not talking to you.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't need to talk to you. I'm not talking to you. They're like, what's wrong? You too cool to talk. I don't got nothing to say. What do you want me to say? Like, why you can't start a conversation off? I mean, I would say something, but I'm not just finna be like, hey, how your life going? What you tell me? Give me your story. No, that's just not me. So like looking back at that, because I know you, but I don't know you. So like I know I get where you're coming from with the whole social anxiety thing, especially because I don't like talking in front of people. I really don't. They say, yeah, school will help that. No, I still don't like talking in front. At 36, I still don't like talking in front of people. I feel like people not necessarily wouldn't listen, but wouldn't take what I would say like to heart.
Yeah, right.
Like you have to listen. Not that you don't want to listen. It's a big difference when you want to listen between when you have to listen.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then and while I understand that and I vibe with that heavily too, I also realize it's like kind of like a fuck it situation too. Like somebody looks around or looks back and compliments me on my fit or something like that, and then I'm just talking. Like, do I want to talk still? No, as I'm having the conversation, but I mean, I'm still having the conversation, and then next thing you know, I have like somebody that I know if I go to like another event or something, and just to chill by or something like that. But while still being myself, I'm not going to speak if I don't feel the need to speak. But when I do, I feel more confident in just doing so at that time. And again, I think that's where the podcast came into play. Especially with the questions when I, started coming over to your mic to say shit, and then we just got a mic, and now I'm freely able to say what I want to say while I'm managing this, especially since I got used to it.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's probably why I was able to get the last previous jobs that I've gotten. I think ever since I started the podcast and been able to just have conversations and do these little interviews.
Yeah, you're not intimidating no more at all.
That showed itself at the bank when I went there for my interview. That was just a conversation. I was interviewing them as much as they were interviewing me, and then it was just like, okay, cool, nice to meet you. We'll call you if we choose you next day. You're chosen. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. Do they still feel like interviews, or do they just feel like conversations at this point? Because interviews like. Job interviews, I've only had one job interview, and that's the job I have now, where I went into it not feeling like it was an interview. It was more like a conversation with someone you knew. Like the guy first who interviewed me, he was like, yeah, hey, what's up? I'm like, oh shit, like what do you do? I started telling him like, I just went through truck driving school and I got a vision board. I do vision boards too, because you have just so you have something to look for. It didn't feel like I went to job interview, but it felt like a job. Where's your diploma? Do you have your diploma on you? Like, whoa.
so what I'm learning too. Like you said, once you mentioned the vision board, it switched.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm noticing that, like, for a lot of job interviews, and that's what people don't understand, when you show that you're human, they will show that they're human too, But if you come in there and, what's your credentials? I went to Harvard for 25 years, blah, 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 blah. You sound like a damn soldier. Yeah. They're going to interview you like that. But if you come in there and, what do you do outside? Oh, I have a podcast. Oh, really? What's your podcast? Oh, Just Keep Swimming podcast. We talk about motivation, Everybody has a life story. And, and once you start to, like, show that I do stuff outside of life, it's like, oh, okay, I can probably vibe with this person,
So is that where you're at now? Is the podcast, like, it's more conversation? Like,
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I would say probably by, like, year 2.
Yeah. Shoot, right before that, I started to realize it's easier to be more conversational. Because I did used to be very strategic with inviting people and what I was inviting them over. So, for example, Donovan's first episode was having a pleasing personality. And I asked him that. My frat brother Mario episode was leading by example. Sean Torrey's was a man of the people. So stuff like that. So like everybody was very strategic on what they're invited for. Yeah. But then soon I started just realizing, one, I'm running out of topics like that, and two, there's so many more stories in the world, so let me just invite them out here and see what we can talk about. And a lot of people have things to talk about. There are times that it was difficult, what I'm saying? There was times it was very difficult. It was like we not vibing, or we just not clicking, or I just can't understand what this person is saying, or whatever the case may be. But then it's been other times where it was like, damn, we vibed so damn well. You know, episode went 2 hours on accident. You know what I'm saying? Because we just sitting here flowing, and it's a true conversation. So, that right there was something that I relearned too. Definitely with questions, you start to see. I used to have my questions down 2-3 days beforehand.
Yeah.
Now I 2 or 3 minutes beforehand.
Like you did today.
And then even then, like you may not even say all your questions or anything like that, but it just leaves it open. It just
opens it up for everything.
It opens it up, because now it's just our ability to switch and transition and adapt to whatever the conversation's going on. Like, the perfect example right now. We were talking about our 200th episode and like what grown from it, but then we started talking about actual job interviews and how it affected us, and we went on a whole tangent. And it's a beautiful conversation right now, rather than just like
having fun with it. No, and I agree, because a lot of the best episodes, I feel, the ones where I'm not sticking to my notepad, I'm just going with the flow. Shoot, there's been times recently where we had a guest come on, and I asked them first, what do you want to talk about? You know, is there something on your mind you want to discuss? Like, we can talk about what you want to discuss before I go to my topics. Like, we can talk about my topics, but you got something in your mind that you want to talk about? Because it might be more engaging to talk about what you've been having in your heart right now compared to what I'm thinking about.
Like that one episode with CJ.
Yeah, CJ. We call it Real Talk with CJ. We just talked about life.
Yeah, we already had questions prepped and everything. We was ready to go.
I threw my whole paper to the side. We didn't do nothing there. So, it's been a lot of experiences though, for sure, brother. I've been enjoying all of it. Yes, sir.
I agree.
So, which guests have you kind of related to the most, or which guests kind of like shocked y'all the most? Like, oh damn, like I didn't know. Cause it's one guest I think the guy that got hit when he was riding his bike.
Oh yeah, the traumatic brain injury.
Yeah. Like I think about that episode, like it's definitely like shit. I don't have it bad in life. Like I don't have it that bad in life. Like it makes you appreciate life. Yeah. I was not expecting that when I started listening to the episode. I was not expecting that to come.
He caught me off guard too. And then that was cool because we didn't find him. Rihanna found him. Yeah, shout out Ray. Which guest caught me the most off guard?
And connected with the most, I guess.
Yes. You know who really caught me off guard and connected with the most? I'm gonna say the congressman. The congressman really caught me off guard because, you know, I didn't know what to expect. You know, PJ set that up. Shout out to Vegas Vibrations. And, you know, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I didn't know how to dress or anything. I'm thinking I might have to come in a shirt and ties. It's a congressman, you know, you're thinking something powerful. That's a powerful term. Like, definitely a black man who don't really know much about government. Right. You know, and he came in and he's so down to earth and he cracking jokes and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had fun editing his video was the hardest to edit because I didn't want to edit it. Like, I wanted to keep it in its entirety, exactly. But I had to make it down to 1 minute. But his was the toughest one, and I just learned so much from him. And he made me feel like I can run for congressman right now.
Yeah, especially as a teacher. I wouldn't. When he said that, I was like, what?
Yeah, you know, what I'm saying? He's a teacher. You know, he talking about he's talking about what did he say? What did he say happened? He said, what did he say? His neighbor put stickers on the back of his window, and he came running over there. You can't do that. No, I don't know why I'm like, that's the funniest joke to me. But it was just like the idea that he said he was just doing it, having fun. And, you know, he met his neighbor, and you know, and his kids think he's a loser, and it's like he just showed me he's a normal human, you know. Yeah. And it was like, okay, he really caught me off guard. So I want to say the congressman for sure. I'm trying to think of another guest that really, really caught me off. Another guest that was actually my favorite guest would probably be AJ. AJ Lewis. Yeah, he was cool. He was just so cool and full of knowledge. And for him, he was the funniest one for me because so I got told by my co-workers, yo, you should interview AJ. You know, he pretty dope. I'm okay, whatever. But I never really talked to this man. I work with him. I know what he does, but I didn't talk to him. I see him. That's about it. So I ran to him at the company Christmas party at the very end, and we everybody drunk and loaded because they just giving out drinks right now. Yeah. So I went to the bathroom, and I'm walking to the urinal, and he's getting out the urinal, and then I was, oh, what's good? And he walked by, and I'm peeing. I finally, hey Jay, are you on the podcast? So I'm taking a piss. I'm getting this nigga to ask me to get on the podcast. He was like, when? I was like, man, I'll talk to you on Monday, but I just don't know that it's okay to talk to you about this. He's like, yeah, let's make it happen. And then on Monday, I went to his office, and then we confirmed it. But that's how I linked up with him for the podcast.
Said never would have happened, huh?
It never would have happened, bro. And then his stories were just like really deep. Because he just seemed like he was just, a few years ahead of me. That's about it, though.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of quotes. He was just a really deep dude. And then for me, too, he stood out because, he's the only upper level black man in my company at the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was okay. That was pretty dope. I liked him. Yeah. What about you, bro?
I'm thinking, I gotta look back. We interviewed a lot of people.
We interviewed a lot of people, bro.
But one thing that did catch my eye, too, was Greg. Especially his first episode.
Oh yeah, GP.
Yeah, after he was getting out of his last relationship, and I was just like,
that's your friend, right?
That's my frat brother.
Your frat brother? Which one is your friend that been on a couple of times?
Gerald.
Yeah. Fernando. Yeah, I think I vibed out with Gerald Fernando episodes like a lot.
Yeah. And I was gonna say that was like another cool thing, especially just with the way they showed out.
Yeah.
In a sense. And it was just like another conversation with some interesting topics, and get to see more of their mindsets outside of our friendship. Yeah, in that sense, which was really dope.
Shit, that made me feel like they was my friend. Especially when you don't see your friends for a while. Cause I just seen one of my best friends last night. We went to the gym, but being in the same space with him, it's been maybe 2 or 3 months, and it's like, you have those friends where you catch up, but it don't feel like you catching up. It just feel like, a conversation. Sometimes you get seeing your friends for after a couple of months. Sometimes it feel weird because you're not at the same place in life that you was, and they're not the same place. Y'all grown, but some of them may not have grown. So it's sometimes it can be weird, but sometimes it's not. So I feel like with those two, I feel like, especially Gerald, I feel like, that's my homeboy.
They have some dope mindsets, for sure. Yeah. They caught me off guard. Definitely with Fernando shared the story about his hair, and I was like, I never knew that's why your hair was long. I thought he just wanted his hair to be long. Yeah. Oh no, I'm about to donate this, and then I was like, okay, Fernando's deep. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fernando's deep and emotional. Ladies, where y'all at? Because we need something right now. Fernando's dope.
It's funny because Alondra, which was also another guest on the podcast, twice I think, sharing about minimalism and things like that, and also her new business venture that she's doing. Yeah. But she always saying, why aren't you guys married yet? And I was like, yeah, we can cook and mindsets and things like that. And it's like, we just a couple real dudes that's just trying to find a real life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. But to say too, Immortal Craft.
Oh yes.
From the first and second one that we did.
Yeah, shout out Jay in his barbershop.
And I feel like I just connected with EJ, especially going to him for my, getting my haircuts every once in a while. I don't know, me and him just vibe, and it was just cool seeing his mindset, and I was actually pretty inspired by him, just for getting what you need to do through life, and just all the things that he's done and currently doing now, and just making a living, just doing his thing, Yeah. So that was another dope interview, so I would say probably those two as well. And then also the senator, that was unexpected.
Yeah, senator still caught me off guard. Yeah, because then too, he was a random pick. Like we got notification of him the week before. Yeah. I think I dropped his flyer 2 days beforehand, type deal. We didn't know he was coming until CJ. Oh yeah, I got it. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, favorites. There's a lot, bro. There's too many people out there. I can shout out for an hour right now. Because I feel like everybody really brought something amazing to the table. Everybody really brought their own mindsets. I kind of think that, the little rules I give at the beginning of the show about be yourself and all that stuff really helps. Yes. Because a lot of people, I don't feel like nobody was on here really being fake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody really came out here and just were their true selves. So I truly love everybody.
Especially when they say like after the podcast, well, that was pretty fun. Before we hit record, they're like, oh, I'm nervous. And blah, blah, blah.
Look, I like it before that. Like before that, when you reach out and ask them, they're like, me? For what? I'm like, bro, shoot, you've been doing this or you doing that. I see you out here doing this. They're like, okay, well, yeah, I'll try it. I've never been on podcasts before. And it's like, oh, relax, be yourself, have fun with it.
I mean, I was nervous my first episode. I don't like talking, so like I don't listen to my episodes back. Those are the only episodes I don't listen to is me because I don't like hearing myself speak. But all the other ones I listen to, but I don't listen to the ones I'm on. I don't know why. Like I
rarely
should
listen to my podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we sat through it.
Yeah, I sat through it. Sometimes I may go back and listen to something, but a lot of times I haven't. No, once I record it, it's gone. Once I go and post it, it's gone. I may go back for a snippet, but that's about it though.
On to the next.
Yeah, because once I start listening to it, it starts to click in my head like I wrote the song. Oh, I already know it's about to come up now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
So if someone was to walk up to y'all and be like, advice on starting a podcast, what advice would y'all give them? Because it's been a couple times. Me and my homeboy James, like I said, we started about starting a podcast, especially because we have so much in common. But we never really do it. So I'm like, nah, I'm all right, man.
So my advice would be, the easiest one to always say, just do it. That's nice and simple though. But my honestly, my ultimate advice would be is why. You know what I'm saying? And know why you want to do it because, and this is not to knock anybody because there's some people out there with what I call no topics that are still doing great podcasts, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the one reason that kept this podcast going for so long is my topic was always just keep swimming.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how can I relate this back to just keep swimming, compared to, you can only talk about, for me, I can only talk about shoes, I can only talk about sports, I can only talk about celebrity gossip for so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before I get tired of it. So it's like, but motivational stuff, reading books and finding new quotes and stuff, that right there always tickles my fancy. So
I was gonna say, treat it like how you should participate in a conversation. Ask open-ended questions, and that should be the purpose of like your podcast. Have it be open-ended.
Yeah.
Because at some point that spark's gonna run out on that given topic. But as long as you have like a purpose and a why behind it, then you can keep doing whatever and have it still be impactful for the audience that you're delivering to.
Yeah.
And then that just goes with any hobby in general too. Like, again, the excellent thing, why?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this in the first place? And then is that why sustainable enough for, future purposes? In some cases, you may not need a why, and because it's only going to be temporary. But if you're trying to have longevity, you need to have a purpose and a why, like to back it up.
Yeah, I feel like one thing about this podcast that stands out from every other podcast is y'all don't talk about the topic that's going on today. So like if I'm feeling down or something, I can go back and listen to an episode of you giving out motivation. Hey, you sitting on the couch, like, come on, you sit on the couch, you're doing nothing. You go to school. Like when you say like, you fell off the horse, get back on it. Like you fucking right, I fell off the horse. Everybody falls off the horse. Let me get back on it. But other podcasts, they kind of stick to what's going on. Hey, what's going on this weekend? The Diddy this, the Diddy that. Like you can't listen to that back and you have a feeling. Like you can listen to this podcast back and have a feeling, a motivation. I feel like, oh yeah, let's fucking go. They've been doing this every Monday for the last 4 years. If I can do something every Monday for 1 year, my life can be so much further than what it is now. Yeah. So that's one thing I really love about y'all podcast.
And that's something like I always kind of aim for too, because I listen to a lot of, because right now, y'all always know, I always quote Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale. Those people are dead. You know what I'm saying? Those people are dead, bro, and I still listen to their books because it relates right now. Like, even though he's talking about horse and buggy, you know what I'm saying? Like, replace it with a car, it's the same principle. So whatever the case is, though, like his principles he's talking, you can apply right now into this thing, And that's what I always want to, like, I had this, not to say this vision, but I always have this thought of, it's sad to say, of course, they're gonna love when you gone. What they always say, they're gonna miss when you gone. That's when you blow up, whatever. Well, when I die, they're gonna see that this dude has 200 something plus episodes of motivational conversation for you that you can play any moment in time in your life, and you can always come back and listen to it, you know. So it's like, worst gonna worse, shit. My voice is out there and it's out there for life, you know.
Yeah.
And it can relate at any point in time.
That part.
You're 20, 21, 28. You know what I'm saying? When it's Trump Jr. versus Trump Sr. going to, you can still listen to my podcast and like, you know, I did fall off the horse though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I can't think of some affirmations for myself today. What's some positive thoughts I can say to myself? I can't count my blessings right now. Let me figure out how to count my blessings, you know? And you can still apply it, so. That's something I always want, like the timeless, you know.
Timelessness.
Yeah, the timelessness of it.
Cause I be trying to listen to I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm like, y'all talking about the same thing that other podcasts talking about. Just different verbiage.
This is different.
Yeah, but this podcast, y'all do not. That's one thing I really love about it.
Yeah, and that's just me. That's me personally. I don't care about all the. I hear it. I listen to it. I see it. Yeah. I see Drake's out there suing this nigga for a diss that he got. You know, he's suing this nigga for a fight that he decided to swing back to. Like, I see it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna do a whole topic on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth it.
I mean, like, you also gotta think too. It's like the current stage of like society nowadays. It's like, something happens and people forget about it like 2 weeks later.
Oh, no, 2 days later.
2 days, yeah. So it's
2 days later.
Why am I gonna talk about shit that everybody's eyes are on rather than something that has some substance?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not gonna lie, some shade, but like not entire shade, but it's just, what's the point? Like, how does that apply to me?
Yeah.
These are two random niggas at the end of the day. I don't know Kendrick, I don't know Drake. Like, what the fuck do they, I like Kendrick's music. Yeah. But I could give a fuck about less because I never met this man. I don't know what else he's gonna provide me.
I'm gonna slap his album and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to give him all the other gas. Like, I don't need all that.
I listen to his music. I don't know him enough to follow him.
You know that emotionally invested into it.
Yeah.
And I love y'all for that. I'm not finna get what's going on in today's topic out of this podcast. I'm gonna get something like last week. I was in my truck thinking about like, what world would I want to live in? Like, what world would I was like, damn,
what world am I in right now? Like,
yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought about both ends. Like, nah, I wouldn't want to live in that world. If I live in that world, I can do what I want to do. But then, I was thinking. It got me thinking about something other than what's going on in today's world.
And also for you, and then also to the audience, please listen to that video. I mean, I know it's centered around Christianity, and everybody has their different beliefs, but just listen to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can apply that just in general.
Yeah.
So to keep 100, let's go back and talk about the video. So to keep 100, for me, it was just like, it was the Matrix explaining a different storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they just explained the movie of the Matrix, or what they told you what the movie The Matrix is trying to tell you without telling you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they literally just explained it. If y'all really go back to the movie and watch the scene with all the TVs and the guy, he literally says that we create a world when everything is perfect. And it sucked. It fell apart. We created a world where everything sucked, and it's even sucked even worse. And then we had to create this world where free of choice and whatever, and we had to pull ourselves back because this is the only way we can do it.
Yeah,
you know. And it's deep though.
I mean, I feel like it just definitely goes into the idea of like having a conscience. Like inherently, I would like to believe that inherently everybody has a moral code that is just what it is. And to my belief, like that's just the commandments and the energy that God put into you to live on this earth. Yeah. But He loved you so much that He gave you a choice. You can either do it this way or that way. The choice is yours. Literally, it's yours. Yeah. But like, how would you feel if you were just automatically forced and didn't even have like a thought to do anything other than just these rules? And that's what makes life interesting, not only for him as the creator, but also for you. What are you going to do? What are you going to make your life? Yeah. And would you rather have it just be perfect with no challenges or anything to grow out of and experience, to be thankful of how perfect this world is? Or would you rather, make the choices, fall through these mistakes and experience all these different things to figure out like what your meaning of life is?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how I feel, because at the end of the day, you can't really find your meaning without going through the cracks and the crevices and the broken glasses and having to put stuff back together. Like, you can't find your meaning without going through all that, because, like you said, if everything is just perfect all the time, no matter what, there is no meaning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just you just here to do your job, and after that, once your wheel is done spinning, put another wheel in there.
Yeah.
It's like that ball. And like I was saying in the episode, like I was talking with my friend Elsa, but like, okay, imagine just being a perspective of that bouncy ball right there. You can't do anything, you just are.
Yeah.
And once you pop, okay, you're just replaceable. What is that?
Yeah.
And that's just a perfect world. He is a perfect ball right now. He is doing his job as that ball, just sitting there or being whatever use Adrian has for it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he has nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Compared to this basketball game we watching right now, they got he can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble, he got options. You know, you got guidance coming from above with the coach saying, "No, don't do that, do this." He can choose to listen or he can choose not to listen.
And he's gonna have consequences.
He's gonna have consequences. Whether he could make it, he could not make it, and who knows. But at the same time, it's like that randomness, that feeling of the unknown is what gives you this feeling of, okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to, oh, they're gonna adjust the outcome no matter what to be a positive outcome. So no matter how many bullets fly my way, I know it's not gonna get hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, shoot, that's gonna have me just walking through the streets all giddy through a shootout, not even caring, because the rules don't apply the way I think it should, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you should have the consequence of don't go down that street at night. Yeah, man, I love it, man. I love it. But, yeah, MJ, you got any more questions for her, brother?
I got a couple more.
Okay, cool, yeah. What you got?
All right, so my next question is, when y'all interviewed y'all parents, did y'all know the stuff that they were talking about, like through their relationship? Because next year will be 10 years since my dad been dead. And I'm like, damn, I want to ask him this about the relationship. I want to ask him, you know, as a kid, you see things one way, especially as a parent. I be telling my kids, like, y'all see how y'all see it, but y'all don't know what's going on. So when y'all interviewed y'all mom and dad, did y'all get like a better knowledge of knowing them and their relationship, or was y'all like kind of things like y'all kind of may have already knew?
That's a
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Because we only interviewed the parents one time.
I think it's been twice. I think I interviewed them by themselves, and then but
We did Vanjie by herself.
Yeah.
And then we was my dad and them together.
Yeah.
So we interviewed the parents on marriage.
Yeah, it's like a marriage thing.
Yeah.
Especially like as a person who's married, I was like, dang, like I kind of like go through that with my wife, so it kind of gave me like a.
And this is a weird kind of answer because they were very I guess private, for a lack of a better word, during the interview. But that just showed the reverence that they had for each other. But also being the child from them, and then also being in the house from when I was born all the way to the end, and seeing all of the shit, but all of their growth through everything. Like, I was able to understand some of the aspects of how they grew to where they are now. A little bit better. And then in addition to just, growing with them over the last couple of years too, being able to have more, I guess, somewhat more frequent conversations about, just life, especially as I'm going through things and things of that nature. Yeah. I feel like that was kind of like another caveat to kind of open shit up. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was watching a YouTube video, and it was a guy saying, like, he had brought a car and he had to drive the car from, I think, like New York to, it was a 17-hour drive wherever he was going. I think like New York to Florida. And his dad rode with him. He's like, yo, throughout that 17-hour drive, he said, I knew my dad, but I got to know the man behind my dad. He's like, yeah. So like, y'all got to interview our parents. Like, I don't really talk to my mom. I talk to her, but not talk to her. But like I said, my dad been dead almost 10 years, so it's a question that I want to ask. Like, how did you get through this hurdle in life? Or how did you? Well, my dad would always say one thing. He said, "I'll tell you what I know, not what I heard." Because if I tell you what I heard, like, you're not gonna tell him the same thing way you told him, and he's not gonna tell the same way you told me. Right. But if you know it, you gonna tell me exactly what you know. So I'll be like, man, I'll be trying to damn, I want to ask my dad about this. I want to ask my dad about this. But y'all got to like interview y'all dad. So or not say dad, but parents. Yeah. So I wonder, y'all have like a different mindset, or like how do y'all look at it now?
If I may say,
go ahead. Yeah.
I feel if we were able to interview them as people rather than the topic of marriage, I feel like we would be able to better answer that question. But
sound like an episode coming up.
So no, because he literally stole the words from my mouth. Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, when we interviewed them about marriage, that did open up a lot of eyes of what they went through together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely, like, you know, decision making, you know, raising us as kids. Definitely, you know, to my understanding, I was a headache. Or, you know, I was a stubborn child, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had Doug, you had Donovan, so we all different. You got my sister, so it was all different. So that's what really, like, brought out of me of, like, you know, us seeing rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
Let's take that back. We either saw butterflies or lightning storms, you know what I'm saying? But we not realizing the rainy, sunny, cloudy, all the other days that happen in between that.
And how that even transitioned.
And how they even transition to the other ones, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, but you are right, though, because I believe doing this podcast has made me more interested in everybody's story. I haven't been able to interview my moms yet.
Yeah, I was hoping for that episode when you was telling me about it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get there, but my mom doesn't want to do an interview, and I can't. I respect her wishes. At the end of the day.
That's our whole dad's side of the family.
Hey, you know, everybody's family different. You know, like I think one of the interviews that really got me was the grandparents, because you know, Granddad always gives, by myself when it's me and him talking, he gives me some life stuff, he gives me some information. I'm like, damn, I didn't know this was my grandfather. Yeah. But then it was funny because it was like, we put them on camera, or we put them with the microphone in their face, they didn't care about none of that. All they wanted to do was share a good message. You know, love your family, love your own, be kind to your people. Like, that's all they wanted to share. Like, their episode, I was hoping it was going to be like 10 minutes, 15. Their episode was 5 minutes. Yeah. But that's all they wanted to share with the world. Like, and that kind of blew my mind. It was like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you have all this stuff, and then once the lights turn on, this is all we want to focus on, or this is the only light we want to give. Yeah. And I think that really hit. I would love to have deeper interviews with the parents for sure. Definitely to figure out how they were and everything. But on the flip side, I think I'd rather have that as a one-on-one personal conversation compared to a camera, whatever. Because like you said, I talked to Granddad the other day, and every time I talk to my granddad and actually sit there and ask him questions, he gave me some stuff, and I was like, dang, Jesse, you was living. You was living life, boy. Like, I didn't know you was out here going through this.
I went through that like probably a couple months ago too, where he was telling me how he got to where he was. I'm not saying what, but
nah, shit. Granddad was out there slaying. He was doing the Doug Dizzle.
And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Did he tell you the story about how he whooped them 2 white boys at the job?
No, he did not tell me.
I'm telling you, bro, you got a lot still. He told me that story, boy. They came out there and ran their mouth. I gave both of them white boys a whooping. I let them have it. And then I went and told my boss what happened. My boss said, don't worry about nothing. And I never heard nothing about it after that. Yeah. That's a good boss.
Because Kira had a school project where she had to interview someone from the family. And she chose my grandma to interview. Yeah, so it was like, I didn't know about my grandma. Actually, my grandmother on the phone saying, like, yeah, no, we came out here for a better living. Because I know my grandma is from Louisiana. And I'm already, you in your 80s, so I already know you was back there with the slaves. I know this. But she didn't want to say that. But like I know. So looking back at it like that, I'm glad that Carol chose my grandma to interview, because she could choose anybody. She's like, I'm gonna interview Grandma Bertil, and not knowing why, but that's what she wanted to do. But I'm happy she did that.
No, it's good that she did do it, because like you said, you got to hear a story you never heard. Yeah. And then now it makes you even more curious, because it's like you said, it goes, and that's what this podcast does. Like, I don't know if I ever told you, Jonathan, but sometimes, like, when I'm sitting here and have the guests right in front of me and I'm looking at them as I'm talking, it's gonna sound so weird to explain, but I'm gonna explain the best way I can. It's kind of like your normal mask that I see you wear fades away, and I truly get to see you for you. Like you know, seeing Triv. Like, seeing Triv, like I see Triv all the time. I see my brother all the time. But sitting here talking to my brother for an hour and actually like looking at him, I start to see like the life my brother went through, and it's like, damn, he do got some wrinkles under his eyes, and he do look a little scarred up from who knows what, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he has been through some stuff, and he is human, you know? Yeah.
Oh, so to build off of that, that's fucking crazy.
but it's real. I see with everybody.
Because, like, then that translates to just communicating with people in life. Like, I noticed myself just getting lost in their face. Yeah. Or just, like, their person, their soul. in general as I'm speaking with them, and then that just brings in a whole another dimension of just understanding as we get to talk to them, especially since I'm being more comfortable with like eye contact and stuff like that. Like,
I hate eye contact. And the fact that I do with y'all too is kind of crazy. My wife always say, "Yeah, make sure you make eye contact." Well, you ain't looking at me. You don't feel it. Well, sorry to cut you off. That's
but it's hard, bro.
It's hard. It's hard.
I've been practicing. This podcast is making me practice it, and I've been doing it subconsciously. So I've been trying to like, as I'm listening, I'm looking to it, and I've been trying to transfer it over to life, Jessica, mom, school, everywhere. Every time I talk to people, like, and I can see the students at school.
Yeah.
Boy, they do not want to look in the eyes.
They don't.
They, I don't know. And I'm sitting there looking at them, calm and relaxed. Like, I didn't answer, but, well, I guess I can take my ACT. And I'm like, you sure? Yeah. But then when they sure, they look in the eyes and say yes. Well, okay, let's do it then.
That part.
Yeah.
I need that though. I need that confirmation.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, I mean, that just segues into everything else I was going to say too. Like, just, it is funny. And, okay, just bringing it back to the kids, right? Like, I just laugh when I do look at them in the face and in their eyes, and they're kind of like shifting and stuff like that. And it's like, I understand. I get you, man. I was just there a couple years ago, bro. Like, and now throughout my whole life, I was just there. But like, once I just like to imagine once they do get past that threshold and to start doing that, they're going to be doing amazing things too. Because it's just, once you meet people where they are, face to face, that's when like real magic happens.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Nah,
that was a crazy question.
But real though, I agree with you saying though. Like, as you sitting here talking to the person, it's like, no matter who it is, like, it doesn't matter what my interview was, anything, you start to see their real soul come out. Like, you really start to see like that, whatever that smooth call soul, you start to really see like their inner, and you start to realize, okay, this person's human too. This person went through life. You know, this person's sharing what they need to share right now. Like, and it's everybody. Like, every person that's sat over here anywhere or had an interview, at some point as I'm talking to them, I'm like, okay, I can see the real human start to come out and show it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's crazy. And look, we're keeping 100 with you, Marvin. I'm keeping with you. From your first time, 'cause I remember the first time we was here, we had you here for the think tank.
Yeah, because we had you made me cry.
Yeah, exactly. We had you, AT, Melvin here. And then there's like a few months later, you was here by yourself. And we had a few episodes with you solo.
Yeah, I think that's no, AT didn't come for the think tank. It's just me.
It was you, Melvin.
Yeah.
It was just you, Melvin. I think I went through the tank, or you went through the tank. Somebody else. We all went through it or something.
Yeah.
But then you saw how more comfortable you got over the episodes. So like months later, you came through and you was just cool, ready to go, and you was sharing what you had to share now and stuff like that. Compared to first few episodes, it was like you shared, but it was like, okay, that's it though. That's you know. But yeah, the growth in everybody has been amazing. I've been loving to see it.
Yeah,
I love to see it.
I feel like this is one of the few moments where I don't feel nervous about looking people in the face and things like that.
Nah, definitely not my damn podcast.
Yeah.
This is my stage right here. And it translates though. It translates to flag football. It translates to trivia. You know, talking in front of these kids. The other day, I grabbed the microphone on stage and started talking. This damn microphone, you can't even hear you. And I started talking. But it just translates, you know.
All right, so that kind of leads to my next question. It's like all the questions before I just came with those on the fly, but this is the question that I wanted to know about both of y'all.
Right.
For you, is where did your want to help kids or help people come from?
I don't know. I really don't know.
The majority, not to cut you off, because the majority of your jobs has dealt with kids. Like you was a mentor. Like I remember that. What was it called?
Enough said.
Enough said. Yeah, I remember that. Like from when I looking back, like majority of jobs are things you've done in life that been always to make people better. So where did that want or that need come from?
I don't know. I can't even tell you, bro. Like I really can't. I've been trying to pinpoint my damn self as well, because I don't know. Because we did the school. I went to school. We came from college. After college, we was throwing parties, but that's selfish because we was trying to throw parties. But at the same time, I'm throwing parties to give people a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to give people a good Vegas party experience. Good music, hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the theme of it. Enough said kind of just came because we heard we can get a lot of money off of grants, you know, so we started doing that. And then, yeah, I just kept tutoring. I just never stopped.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it always just felt good. Like it's always satisfying at the end of the day. Like yes, it's tiring, it's draining, you know, it can take a lot of energy, it's irritating sometimes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's always satisfying. You know, like to see my mentee graduate, to see these kids go on this field
Flag
trip,
football,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, flag football.
Yeah.
You know, definitely I see that kid catch a touchdown pass when nobody thought he was gonna catch it. Fuck reffing, I'm hyped. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there. I'm giving her the real. I'm running down the field. I'm letting the parents know she scored. Like, take the pictures now because I'm just having fun with them. But yeah, I don't know, bro. It's always just been fun. It's always been fun. The part came from Donovan. The part came from trying to teach him how to play video games and stuff, and then, you know, constantly whooping them in games until you get better. I don't know. I can't tell you. I really can't tell you, bro. I really can't because on the flip side, I wouldn't think I'm this type of person because I sit by myself a lot. I hang out with myself a lot. I feel like I'm isolated a lot. I don't feel like I'm really a family person like that. You know, y'all know I'll sit in here and be quiet by myself. Yeah. And, you know, y'all might hear it from me for a week easy, you know? So it's like, yeah, like besides hanging out with Jessica, I really don't do nothing, you know? And it's like, you don't think that somebody who's with kids all the time want to be out all the time or something like that, but no, I don't.
Nah, I think that comes from how we grew up, especially when we started throwing kickbacks. Like, that father tells me, like, you don't want to go out, babe. We was at a kickback a lot, getting drunk. Like, no, I don't want to go out and do nothing. I want to sit in the house.
But then check this though now, right? If you think about the kickbacks, and I think I'm just a natural host. Like, it's just in my DNA. Think about the kickbacks at my dad's house. Even though it's my kickback at my house, I'm over here doing what? Cooking the food. Make sure we have
make sure everybody good. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had games going. We cleaned up the house afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, we had to drop people off or something. We did that. Like, it was just a natural thing for me. Like, it was just something I did, you know?
Yeah.
And I really can't explain why. I wish I knew why, but
I think it's dope though. I think it's dope. Like this past Saturday, I was moving. My brother's like, yeah, whoever y'all move. I'm like, shit, just me and Ken. Said, why you? What agent? I said, oh, agent got flag football. I know what agent doing on the Saturday. He with kids. He with the kids.
You know,
brother said, oh yeah, that's right. I gotta call nobody. Shit, me and Brittany moved all this stuff out the place. We can move it right back in. I was like, yeah. I was like, I know agent somewhere helping somebody, especially on a Saturday. He out there helping kids. Yeah. So I think that's really, 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 really dope.
So then too, and I'm gonna leave it at this one. One of the things I learned, John Maxwell, definitely I started listening to him a lot. He says, and it makes sense. We're put on this earth to serve. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're put on this earth to serve others. So if you can figure out how to serve people and it makes you feel good, that's where you need to be at, you know? And so yeah, it's kind of like, how can I serve? I can't build products, you know what I'm saying? I can't make beats or rap really, so it's like I can teach a kid how to play football though a little bit. So.
We went through that phase.
You know, yeah, I tried, you know what I'm saying? I tried, nigga, shit. You know, how many times should I start that shit over for me? Cause I'm trying to freestyle. And I'm stuttering and I can't even do it right, you know? But yeah, and I just found that I had the patience, I guess, allegedly. They say I had patience. I feel like I don't have no patience, but allegedly I got patience. And like, okay, you did a good job, ref. You know, like I said, last week I was at the ready to fight niggas, but that's because I didn't drink no water and I was dehydrated. But yeah, I was irritated. But yeah, man, I don't know. I can't even tell you, bro. I really wish I could figure that out. But yeah, I'm learning on that. That's my thought for the rest of the year. I'm gonna think about it now. Where did it start?
Right, my question for you is, where did your love for music come from? Because I know we all love music.
It's easy.
I can answer that one.
Go ahead. You can answer that first.
Can I answer for you?
Yeah.
You can tell you nothing. He starts smiling real big.
So Donovan, when we was younger, because we play a lot of video games. You already know. Me, Doug, we have video games.
Yeah.
Donovan loved the pause screen music. So
I loved all
music. Yeah, honestly, real talk. He'll play Zelda and go to a dungeon, and then once the dungeon music come on, he'll just let the player stand there. He don't pause it or nothing. He'll just let the player stand there, and that's his music while he clean the room up, type shit. Like,
oh, dang.
Or he'll take the 64 on Pokemon, and he'll get into a battle. Dun dun dun. And he's there to listen to the music. And I used to literally come and like turn it off, think he's asleep or something. Wake up throwing a fit. I was listening to that. I'm like, I'm falling. Then you don't play the game? You want to let it play? I like the music. And he loved the music of the video games.
Well, so that's definitely like one of the main points, and then also just being around the parents and things like that, especially my mom.
Yeah, see, I thought, especially outside looking in, because my parents had me. I thought your love. I thought you was gonna say not video games. I thought, like, my parents, like something like that.
But was it Diary by Alicia Keys? Until the End of Time by Justin Timberlake and Beyonce. Just like all them R&B songs.
Yeah.
Like I always just jive with Usher. You got Neo and things like that. It was just, I was able to always hear the layers of everything, and then I'm always just a beat person. I don't there's some lyrics that I jive with and stuff like that, but what gravitates me to like a song is just the production of it, and that's why video games was tight, because it was literally just notes. But how they sync that all together with different ass sounds as opposed to like what contemporary music is, I was just always drawn to that. So I think that really flourished when it was in middle school, and a lot of my friends were in orchestra. So then when I decided to join in 8th grade, that was just always revolutionary. And then when I went to high school, just the teacher that I had, and how he taught us how to play, which was always just, you gotta feel the music, you gotta be into it, and I already had like an affinity for it already, so that just kind of came naturally. To the point to where a friend I started talking to recently, I showed her like the video of me playing like the bass guitar for one of my songs, and just the way she mentions, oh yeah, you look like you've been playing for like forever, just the way you was like moving. But it's just like, yo, once you feel the vibe, music is just like another language that you can't really describe, but it's always understood by everybody, no matter what genre it is.
That's true.
Maybe I'm not like a huge rock fan or anything like that, but I can tell when somebody's going off on a solo, and like you just feel that shit. Like Tins by Pantera, when Broly transformed, and then that whole soundtrack, I was just like, damn, this shit is cold, bro. Like that's how I kind of got into metal a little bit. It's just the love for what can't be expressed by words, and I think that's why I love music so much.
I think music is the only thing that can shift your emotions. Like I can get in my car mad as shit and throw on Pandora and just put it on in a random one, and like a love song will come on. And I'll just start. Cause I used to be in a car. I can't sing no more, but I was singing like whatever I was going through 5-10 minutes ago. I don't give a shit about, because this music has changed how I feel about everything now.
If you let it, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times too, we listen to the music that feels our emotions, right? That's our current emotion, so we get mad and we get madder. Because, I'm mad and I listen to some kill somebody music. Now I'm ready to kill somebody for real. So.
But then at the same token, that's also just a form of release if you're listening to the music that vibes with the emotion you're going through. And I would say that's a healthier outlet than going out and doing what you fucking feel like. You know what I mean? And that just even goes for hype. I remember one time I was going to a rave, which is definitely out of our culture's music taste, but I was like, as I'm heading to it, I'm like, you know what, let me listen to some like metal, let me get hyped, because like it's gonna be a good night tonight, so let me put on some crazy shit. And I'm just in the car just whipping down the street, going to the free line, and just banging the fuck out, and then my friends pull up and like, I'm already lit, like, let's get it, tonight, let's go. But then there's other times, like you said, like, I'm upset right now, but let me listen to some lo-fi just to like calm my nerves. I need to chill out, or I'm tired and I'm just trying to vibe. It just has a certain connection to my soul. Because
when I think about Donovan, the first thing I think about is music.
Right.
When I think about Adrian, I think about kids. And it's weird because you don't have no goddamn kids.
Yeah, I know, that's that one, right?
Pregnant.
She ignored that.
Okay. So y'all don't have no kids. So it's like, I always wonder, like, where does that want or that love for helping kids come from? That's what when I think about you too, and that's what I think about.
And I never even thought about it. Like, I think the love of it comes from just the idea of just spreading knowledge. And I think that's one thing I always like, to just let people know what I wish I would have knew before. And that's something that I always just like I don't like people going out there looking lost. Or if I know something, I feel bad to like if I know something and I let you go out there and do something, it's because I'm being petty right now. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 or 10 times I'm quick to say, yo, that toilet's broken. Yo, don't do that. This line is closed. This place is closed. Don't waste your time. You know, but.
Yeah, it's been a couple times where you see somebody come out of somewhere and you go in there. There's one bathroom. They don't say the bathroom is broke.
Yeah,
that's selfish.
That's selfish.
You could have saved me a couple. Hey, the bathroom don't work. How hard is it say? Hey, the bathroom don't work. The bathroom's out of service. Okay, thank you. Yeah. But I go in there and the toilet's full of shit and it's back. Like
yeah, exactly.
You knew that. Like I knew that. I want to come out here and kick your ass.
Right, exactly. Like,
you just came from out of there and you ain't be like, hey, the toilet's in there. Don't go in there, bro. It's messed up. Like,
right.
That's selfish.
So it's like, what would I look like being a ref out there reffing flag football, and I see a kid keep jumping off sides because he doesn't know that you need to look at the ball.
Yeah.
What kind of ref am I to say, hey, keep throwing the flag on him and not let him know? Like, no, I'm gonna keep throwing the flag. No, I'm gonna say, yo, bro, you have to look at the ball and see the ball. You can't hear, it's windy. Look at the ball and see when the ball is pulled, then you run. But you run too fast. That's why I keep throwing the flag on you.
Yeah.
What kind of ref am I to just be out there not caring? Like, that's a selfish person, right?
Yeah.
You know? Like, if I see Dom in the kitchen burning something up, I'm gonna go in there and help him. Like, yo, bro, you can't cook it on high, cook it on low. You know, or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, man, interesting. Very interesting thoughts, though, Marvin. Those are some great questions. I didn't even think about that.
All right, well, last question is, what does the future of the podcast look like?
Oh, perfect. You let me write my last question. Yes. Future, no future. This is not mine. So honestly, right now, as you guys see, YouTube, we got all our episodes on YouTube now. So we're gonna get all our episodes on YouTube for sure, and try to really start pushing the YouTube platform.
Find a marketer.
Yeah, find a marketer that actually wants to market. And then one of my goals is this for like the message to the listener episodes when we do have to do those. I just want to. I'm starting to gather more stories because I'm starting to learn that some of the best ways to teach is through analogy. So I want to try to find more stories so I can actually have some more depth for my best to the listeners. Like when it's solo, just me. You know, I feel like it's still good. I feel like I have some good stuff, but I want to be able to give at least like 3 stories per episode type deal to really drive something home. You know what I'm saying? Really just help you understand what I'm trying to say today. Yeah. So that's one of my goals right there.
Yeah, and honestly, just I don't know, just get it more out there. Yeah. If anything, just I feel like that marketing thing's kind of just tough, and then also just get back into the studio to give you guys some more vibes and things like that. Just on a personal level. Yeah. Because I feel like, you know, as I edit and things like that, I know there's some good songs that I've written that can definitely fit the vibe of the occasion, but I just want to make more so, you know, it just keeps us standing out from the rest.
No, the music in the background be like a real good vibe. All of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the music always dope. Like I said, I don't think nobody else is doing that still. Like, or actually, I've heard people starting to do that now, and it's still not the way Dominant does it because a lot of people just throw on music.
Yeah,
it's like you just throwing on music to have music on, but now it's all jumbled and nah, bro. Yeah, you know.
And that's what do they do it with like words and stuff?
That's what I'm saying. They just throw on music. You know what I'm saying? They just throw on music, bro, with their video, and it's like. That don't work that way.
Because I mean, one of the, like some of the best conversations I've ever had in life is just listening to beats, like lo-fi. Like that's a big thing. Yeah. I've had the most deep, profound conversations while just listening to like a lo-fi mix in the background and just not having any words to like pull you away, but just keep you in the vibe to make sure there's no like super dead silence or awkwardness or anything like that. It's just, you know, everything just feels comfortable and at home at that moment. Yeah. Right. And I just want to make sure that this podcast kind of keeps that same like vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I already know it's going to keep that vibe for sure. There's other stuff in the future, like you said, just grow our listening base, grow our fan base, and get to where we are now. Because I feel right now we hit the threshold of can we do it, you know? Yeah. And obviously we can. So now it's just like really just dedicate more time outside of it to the podcast. Because I feel there's times where I was dedicating a lot of time, and then there's been times where I'm not dedicating nothing, you know, because, you know, life is life.
Yeah, life be lifing, boy.
So my main thing for sure is probably blocking out some time every week for sure. Not recording time, just random time to start doing more stuff for the podcast and really just growing us up in that higher level. And man, I'm still swimming, so I just want to keep swimming. keep showing y'all it's possible. You know, there's always new topics and new ideas I'm learning all the time that I would love to share with everybody. So I want to continue to share and continue to, you know, be a positive outlook on life and just show people that it's possible. Consistency is key. And as long as you continue to be consistent, you can get anywhere you want to be, get everything you want out of life, and yeah, just keep doing it. Yeah. You know, that's all I really want to do.
I concur.
Yeah.
I concur as well.
I concur.
It's a great podcast.
So then I guess that leads to the very last question. Is there a quote you like to leave us with today, bro? I feel like that answer was just still swimming too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's see. Do what you will. I don't fucking know. I was gonna cook a little bit.
I thought you were gonna
Let them cook.
Do what you will, what you have on this time. Do what you will with the time that you have on this earth, and don't let anybody else stop you. Not even yourself.
Yeah, I think honestly he said what I was about to say, just some way more words. I was gonna say run your race. You know, put your blinders on and run your own race. Yeah. You know, like there's so much in the world to distract you, to try to bring you down or hold you back or whatever the case may be. And it's like, yo, you gotta get up and do what you gotta do, go run your race, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I guess I'm gonna say one more thing too. Oh, you know what? I like this one. I wish I could remember it fully, but what'd he say? All masters were once students. You know, all superstars were once rookies. You know, every clown was once just a fool. You know, like pretty much saying that you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start off somewhere, you're gonna look stupid, you're not gonna know what you're doing, you're gonna feel lost, but just keep going, because at the end of the day, the person on top right now was already in your exact same shoes. You don't start off on top. There's no way you can start off on top.
And to leave off on another one, remember your why.
Yeah.
Not saying you should always follow your why, because your why may change, but you should always remember your why, so you can make adjustments and move forward.
Yep, always have one.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
Now, unfortunately, I don't have a quote. I'll just say appreciate every day above earth and stay. One thing that this podcast has been is consistent, and you'll get far in life.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you guys so much for joining us. Marvin, thank you again for being with us today on this amazing episode. Episode 200. So glad we made it.
It's my first interview ever.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
You killed it.
Yeah, you killed it. You stepping out the realm. You got to be hosting soon.
Nah, I'm gonna go that far. I mean, if y'all want me to step in and be a third host, I will.
I'm open.
Yeah,
make it happen.
I'm not gonna lie, I only had 2 questions prepared. Everything else came on the fly.
That's how it happens, bro. That's exactly how it happens. That's exactly how it works. Shoot, I remember Donald just started off with 1 question, and now he half the show. So yeah, it happens like that. So just want to make sure we shout out all our amazing listeners and fans and all the amazing guests we had over the years. It's been so many people. We had artists and beauticians and barbers and athletic workout people and people on TV show and congressmen and bankers and moms and
NFL
dads
players
and brothers and sisters, haters, you know, lovers, fighters. We had all types of stuff. We had all types of people out there. So everybody, whoever came on the show, listened to the show, shared the show, even thought about the show, looked up the show on your phone one day and was like, what is this shit? Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. We wouldn't be here without you guys. I'm going to say this is the end of whatever season we are now, and next episode will start a new season. But yeah, with episode 200 out the way, thank you guys all so much. Mr. 13, I appreciate you so much, brother. You're the best. We're going to keep it rocking. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep swimming. And yeah, I'll see you at the next island. Hope you guys have an amazing day, a wonderful afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to
just keep swimming.
Yes, sir. Yo! 13!